Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a fun reverse color along from Fairy Tales and Folklore. We're going to color that page right there. Meet me on the other side and we'll get started. This reverse color along is from Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Lighthall Oberg. I know I always butcher her name. I have nothing but love for her and I'm very sorry that I do that. So this is page 105. We're going way to the back of the book. And like all my reverse color alongs, I have a coloring cheat sheet for you. So I know I picked up a lot of new subscribers with my last video. So give me a little grace, please, for those of you that have been around while I briefly explain reverse color alongs. So the point of the reverse color along is instead of starting with a blank page and we color the page together, I'm going to present you with the completed page. And along with that completed page, you will get a coloring cheat sheet with all of the colored pencils that I used on the page, the page number, the pencil set I used, and then all of the color combos you need for the page. Now, as of the time I'm recording right now, I haven't decided on the background, so this is blank. But when I do decide how I want to do the background, I will color this in with like Neo colors or distress ink, etc. So this is going to be available in my coffee shop, and these are always a 100% free download for you. You'll get this. I usually convert the colors to 6 additional pencil brands. So if you don't have Prismacolors, but maybe you have Polychromos or Chromaflows or something like that, then you could use that conversion sheet to get to the same color combos. And just remember that pencil conversions are not perfect, so it'll get you close, maybe not perfect to what these colors are. All right, with that said, the way that I normally do this is we start out with the first combo. And what I will do here for y'all, is, oh boy, I'm going to color the combos on the opposite page so we can look at the combo over here, and then I will show you over here how to color these combos exactly the way I did on the bird page. So let me get my pencils and I'll be right back. All right, color combo number 1. We're going to use 4 pencils. We're going to use Jasmine, Mineral Orange, Nectar, and Henna. And I wrote up here that you can find the color combo on the bird and the flowers. So you can see, and honestly, this page, y'all, is just a handful of, it's really three main combos for probably 95% of the page. And in the rest of the instances, you'll use a couple other combos. But this color combo 1 here, I'm using right here on the bird. You'll see it in a lot of his feathers. I'm assuming it's a he. And then I'm also using that same exact combo on the flowers, the berries, even these little circles down here. So you can see this combo is very easy, and I'm about to show you how to do it. So we will start out with Jasmine, and I will, let me zoom in here real quick for y'all. Okay, I'm gonna color this little panel right here. So what we'll do is we'll just start out with the Jasmine. And if y'all have any questions on these color combos, I'm always so glad to help you guys. And you know, sometimes I say things that are sort of nutty in my videos and they make sense to me, but they don't make sense to anybody else. So please ask me about the nutty things that I say. Also, I don't pretend to be an expert. Like you, I just love to color. So, and I just like to share that joy with everybody else on my channel. All right, lastly, we're going to use the henna. And also, if you're new to my channel, it's not a coloring page for me unless I've colored outside of the line somewhere. I'm really not that great. My hand, see, there we go. My hand isn't as steady as it used to be when I was younger. Okay, this is the Nectar, and I love the Nectar color. I think it's really pretty. Okay, and I'm taking that Nectar down over the henna. Next up, we have the Mineral Orange, and I'll bring the Mineral Orange over the Nectar, and we'll start bringing that up into the Jasmine. And as I start moving up towards the Jasmine, I'm getting a little more light-handed with how I am coloring. That will help us blend it a little better. Lastly, we'll top it off with the jasmine. And there we go. So that, y'all, is combo number 1. What I will do is show you how we might color one of the feathers that's shaped like this with this combo. So let me do that for you real quick. All right, so for the feathers, the same thing, but we're just doing the combination upside down, sort of. So the same thing with the jasmine, and then the mineral orange. I know I need to get a pencil extender, so I've got one. I just haven't actually put this in one, so there you go. Okay, then the nectar. I know, y'all, I'm lazy. I don't even apologize for it anymore. It's just how I'm wired. This is the henna. And what I'm going to do is bring this henna along the edge here of these other feathers. Let's pretend these are feathers, to kind of imply a little bit of a shadow there. Oops, sorry, the mineral orange wanted to make an appearance before it was time. Okay, so now we're bringing the nectar back up, then the mineral orange. And now the jasmine. That's all there is to it. Now, one other thing that I've done on these feathers, I'm going to take my dark brown and I'm going to also add just a little tiny bit over that henna, just along the edge for that shadow, just to give us a little bit more of a dark shadows there. And if you were doing it here, you could do the same thing. Like if you wanted a shadow from this edge over to that one, you could kind of do the same thing here and just gently color with the dark brown and blend it in as you see fit. But that's all there is to that. Let's see what else. Yeah, flowers are done the same. So this combo, you'll see on these flowers, so you could see here, I need a pointer, jasmine. That's the 4 combo here. Now from this part down, because you've got the leaf or the petal folding over, I start out with the mineral orange to the nectar to the henna. So you get the jasmine at the top of the petals that might be hitting the sunshine, and everything else in shadow below that. I just start with the mineral orange down to the henna. Now you can play with these colors and like I always remind people, bring the darker colors up as high or as low as you want to sort of vary up the combination. Now on these little circle berries over here, it's the same combo. I'll make like a little, let me see if I've got one on the other page that I can color. Yeah, let me do this for you. All right, we're going to pretend this is a whole berry without a little cross thing in it. So what I do is I take the jasmine and I color it like this. And so think of like a circle. Then I'm going to take the mineral orange and like a letter C, or is that a U, around the jasmine, like that. Then I will take the nectar around there. And lastly, at the bottom, I'll use the henna for that shadow. And then we'll go back up the other way. Nectar, mineral orange, and then the jasmine. That's it. And you can always, if you wanted to emphasize more shadow, you can always make the henna a little stronger, or again, you could take the dark brown and add just a little tiny bit there to get more like a shadow, as if there were a shadow being cast from this shape onto this one. And I think that's it. So that's the first combo we're going to do. The next combo we'll look at will be the other combo for the feathers. I will be right back. Okay, we're going to come back to this combo with the leaves. The next combo we're going to do will be the other feathers on the bird, and then also the center of a flower that I will show you in just a second. We're using 20% French gray, sienna brown, and dark brown. So here, you'll see that combo on these little stripes on the wings. Here, this feather here, and then these little arches, these feather arches here. That's where you will see that 3 color combo. Also on these wings, feathers on this bottom part of the wing. The other place where I included this 3 color combo was right here, going 20% gray, sienna brown, and dark brown into this little spiral. I don't know if that's the center of the flower or if it's a caterpillar. I don't know. But whatever it is, that's where I use this combo. So those are the main places. Also, you'll see up here around his eye, I use that combo, and these little feathers on the top of his head. One thing I can mention here, because I realize I don't have a combo for it on my sheet, this is nothing more than the mineral orange and the sienna brown with maybe a little dark brown outline, but that's all that is there. Okay, let me find a place on the facing page and we'll start on that. Okay, so what you'll find is that this combo is most of these arches on the bird's feather on the other page. So we will take this first 20% gray here. Then I will take the sienna brown next. And lastly, the dark brown. Just tucking that dark brown in at the very bottom of the shape. But this is super easy, y'all. I hope that y'all find these combos to also be easy. I find that when I use a very limited color palette, it just takes the guesswork out of so much stuff and the anxiety of trying to pick the right colors. Okay, so there is that shape, which mimics like this right here, that little arch. Now what we can do, let's go ahead and color the rest of this combo inside. This right here is nothing more than nectar and sienna brown. So here I will just do the nectar. I'm glad the illustrator put similar shapes on the facing page. That makes this a lot easier. And then we're going to have the sienna brown here. Okay. Back to the nectar to sort of blend it all together. And then I'm just using the jasmine by itself to color in that little circle. Now, one final thing that I will do, take my dark brown, and I might just add a little, and I'll do it, well, we've already got dark brown down there, but I'll do it on the whole feather here. And then I will take my black, and I like to go back over the illustration lines. That might be a little too heavy, so I apologize. But I feel like, especially with Prismas, with that wax bloom, when I color over the illustration line, you sort of lose it. So I like that illustration line to pop sometimes, which is why I do that. Okay, so again, that combo, oops, we're doing it here on the feathers, all of the feathers here on the wing, outside of his eye, and then this little whatever that is on the page. Okay, next let's look at these really pretty leaves. I'll be right back. All right, the third combo we'll take a look at is the main combo for our leaves. We're going to use lime peel, parrot green, and cobalt turquoise. You will see this combo here. And for each little section of the leaf, we're going to use the lime peel, then the green parrot, then the cobalt turquoise at the very bottom. And you see that repeated, so it's really super easy. Let's come over here and I will find a shape that we can color just like that. Okay, what I just did off camera, I took some of these leaf lines and took them all the way to the edge of the leaf so I can show you how to color it like the leaf on the other page. All right, here we go. So we'll start out with the lime peel. And lime peel will be most of that section. Then we'll bring up the parrot green. This green is so pretty. And then lastly, the cobalt turquoise. That's just a very tiny bit along the edge there. And again, we're going to blend that now, going backwards, blend that parrot green into the cobalt turquoise. And then we'll take the lime peel to finish it off. And we'll bring the lime peel down over all of that to really blend it together well. So that's a leaf section there. Let's color another section together. Hey, I've got a question too. One of my viewers asked me in a previous video if other people have issues coloring with Prismas on the paper in this book in particular. I shared with her that I didn't, but I would ask all of you, and maybe you could share in the comments if you do have trouble. I don't know if this, I know that with Amazon books, the Amazon paper is different depending on where you live. I don't know if the publishing of this book is different, like if it's all printed in the same place at one place in the world and then shipped worldwide to other countries, or if that is like, it gets, I know like Johanna Basford's books get sent to the US and there's a publisher here, so the paper for our US books are a little different than the ones in the UK, for example. So I don't know if that's the case with this, but please leave in the comments if you have also experienced issues. I let her know that if one person usually has an issue, I guarantee you more people have too, and she shouldn't feel alone. Okay, we're going to do another one here real quick. Now, what I do to finish off the leaf, I take that cobalt turquoise, let's pretend the whole leaf is done, and I really emphasize the lines. Now, there is a center seam down the leaf on the middle page. This is actually a thick line, but I'm going over it with the cobalt turquoise. So if we look here, for example, you can see I've gone over that center seam with the cobalt turquoise and all of these seams. Also, once again, if I feel like it needs more emphasis, I might take the black and go back over those lines as needed just to re-emphasize those, but that's up to you. So that is the leaf color combo. It's all over the page, all the little stripy leaves. I don't know what else to call that. So those are that's the place where you'll use that. So let me get this combo and I'll be right back. Okay, this next combo is just two colors. It's the parrot green, and then I'm using the cobalt turquoise as an outline around the parrot green, which is why I got cute and tried to draw a little circle for y'all. So you can see it here on these leaves. I've got, for instance, the parrot green, and then I'm using the cobalt turquoise like a dark outline around the leaf and down the center seam. So let's color something over here on this page. Okay, I'm going to color on this leaf. I'm not going to do the whole leaf because it's a pretty big leaf and we'll be here a while. But I will show you quickly how this might look. So using the parrot green. Then I'm going to take the cobalt turquoise and just kind of etch in a little bit of an outline here. And then I will come back with the parrot green and just go over that cobalt turquoise line to really blend that in. And you can go back and reinforce that line a little bit more if you feel like you need to, or if you're like me and you have some little white spaces from the page you want to fill in. Now the other thing too, again, the center seam is a line down those leaves, and it's not fat like this one, but I'll go ahead and color the whole thing. And then I would use the cobalt turquoise if there are any lines. I don't think there are on those leaves. We'll look in just a second to re-emphasize that. So that's all there is to it. This is a real simple 2-color combo. And you can see how pretty that really looks on these leaves here. Now also I used that combo on the stems of a few of the flowers. I did a little bit of parrot green and then cobalt turquoise for most of the stem. And you could just play with that however you'd like and mix it up. But that's all there is to that combo. It's super simple, easy peasy. I think we have one more combo to look at and I'll be right back. Okay, our last color combo will be for the crown for the bird. And this is my mock gold combo that I tried to create just from the existing pencils, so I wouldn't have to pull a lot of extra pencils in just to color the gold on the crown. So we're using the jasmine, mineral orange, and then we're going to switch to sienna brown and dark brown. Okay, you can see here, this is the jasmine. Now most of the crown will be the jasmine, and then I'll start with the mineral orange, sienna brown, and dark brown closer to the bottom. Because if you think about it, gold is shiny, and you're going to have more of a yellowish color than what you have in the shadows for your gold. So that did the same thing here. This is all jasmine on these little pieces, and then a little bit of jasmine below that line, and then we went mineral orange, sienna brown, and dark brown. So I will try something on this page. All right, we'll color this shape right here. Start out with the jasmine. Mineral orange. And we're going to pretend the shape doesn't continue all the way to the bottom. We're going to pretend that this shape is just this section here. Sienna brown. And when you look at gold in the shadows, it will have like a very, I've seen gold combos that put a little black at the bottom, just depending on how shiny or how warm or cool you want your gold color to be. Just depends. So this one I just made up. So it's not the perfect gold combo, but I thought it was good enough for this little page. And the crown's kind of a little bitty element on the page too. It doesn't take up a whole lot. But you can see this is a lot like the first combo we used. We're just switching out the bottom 2 colors. And at the end of this, we'll go back in with the jasmine. And I will take the jasmine and really color that yellow over the other colors at the bottom too, to give it more of a hint or a feel of gold. That's all there is to that one. Let's go back and look at the crown. Okay, up here, this is nothing more than nectar and sienna brown. But that's how you do the crown. And I think here, this looks like our first combo with the jasmine. And I think I skipped mineral orange and just went to nectar and maybe a little bit of the henna, but I'm not sure that I actually see the henna. Okay, actually I lied. There is one more combo. We already kind of did it, but I just want to reinforce that. Let me get that and I'll be right back. The last combo, which we already colored, is nectar and sienna brown. And I just put feathers over here. So just as a reminder, you will find that combo here inside these little arches here. You'll also find nectar and sienna brown on the bird's eye, and even inside these arches over here. So I just wanted to come back and make sure that you knew where I used that, not just on the feathers, but I also used it on the eye up here. Let me see. This is just straight up dark brown, I think. These little dots are just jasmine. This flower here is combo 1, going like from the one side of the petal to the other. So starting out with the jasmine, mineral orange, nectar, and henna. And again, you can see on a lot of this, I used either dark brown or black to add shadows. Like if I wanted to come along here, you could see a little bit of a shadow, right? Along the wing. I tried to add some shadow where the leaves are overlapping the bird. Not real dominant though. And then anytime, so you know, I just outlined with black on the illustration lines for most of it, maybe not all of it, but for me that helped pop it a little bit more. Now, I know I don't have the background color just yet, but I wanted to color the combos on the page before I did the background, so you can see the page completed without the background, because maybe you like that and that's good enough for you, and I say great, stop there, totally cool. So let me go and find some distress inks and figure out what color I want to use for the background, and I'll be right back. I just workshopped some distress ink combos here, and we're going with peacock feathers, tumbled glass, and shabby shutters, those 3 together. I think that combo will be really pretty with the colors in this on this page. So what we'll do, let me stick this piece of paper behind here, and I'm going to start out with the peacock feathers and make a dark outline and then work my way in on the rest of the page. Okay, that's peacock feathers. It's a little frustrating to me that you could see the ink is way more saturated on this cardstock than on this paper, but maybe that's okay. We're just going to keep going with it. Next up, shabby shutters. We're going to work our way from the bird out to the blue. So we'll do that next. Now we'll try the tumbled glass to sort of blend it together. I'm going to start here at the bottom. You can see tumbled glass is lighter. It's going to blend those two together pretty well. And what I will probably do, based on how this is going down, is bring some of the shabby shutters back over this tumbled glass, because it is also not as saturated as I thought it would be. Again, I just think my distress inks are starting to dry up, because it's been a while. I haven't shown them love in a while. Okay, let me go back to the shabby shutters. I'm going to go a little lighter this time, sort of blending it into the tumbled glass. Just a little bit. Try to bring those colors together a little bit more. I think what we'll do is we'll just take the tumbled glass all the way out to the very edge to really blend all three of those colors together. I think that's going to look the best and help us get rid of a little bit of that line, that harsh line we have going on. And there we have it. There's our completed page. I really hope that this color along was helpful to you and that you enjoyed it. Again, I will update to add the distress ink colors down here and put together my little kit for this reverse color along, and that will be, the link will be in the description of the video to my Ko-fi page. Again, it's a 100% free download for you. So I think that's it for today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.